Hello, YouTube. Costa Rica is a rugged, rainforested Central American country with coastlines on the Caribbean and the Pacific. I mentioned this country before in connection with my research of the mysterious spheres, and you can find this video in my channel. But today I want to talk about other interesting phenomena which are related to Costa Rica. Let me start by saying that our oceans are full of mysteries and secrets and enigmas. And if mankind seriously explores underwater realms, we might find incredible structures, new life forms, and discover mysteries we never expected could exist. So let me tell you today about some pertaining to Costa Rica. Let me start with a mysterious underwater structure that has been discovered in the Pacific Ocean by Mr. MacIver, who is an amateur underwater archaeologist. The anomaly was discovered by Mr. MacIver in 2018 using Google Earth. He's an amateur undersea archaeologist and credits the discovery to his career working in the maritime industry and his deep passion for exploring and protecting the world's oceans. A few years ago, Mr. MacIver had the opportunity to visit Cocos Island on a 10-day dive excursion as a diver/passenger on live-board dive vessel, the MV Argo, and he has ever since been drawn to the area. Cocos Island is a famous destination with divers, known for the large numbers of schooling hammerhead sharks that frequent the island waters. While there, the dive company operators Undersea Hunters Group had offered Mr. MacIver, who is a certified submersible pilot, a deep water dive aboard a submarine that they use for scientific and tourism purposes. It was a fantastic adventure visiting and diving the waters around Cocos, and that has led him to return to the area using Google Earth. That's the background of how Mr. MacIver first spotted the deep water structure. The Pacific mysterious underwater structure is located approximately 50 miles northeast of Cocos Island, Costa Rica. It is at 6,000 feet depth. The unknown underwater structure is huge and resembles a modern airport. The mysterious underwater structure measures 80 miles across. The individual roads are approximately 5 miles wide and have spans or shadows that appear to imply that they are raised above the seabed, Mr. MacIver explained. Now have a look at this comparison between a modern-day airport and a structure found in the Pacific. The layout of the two has a striking resemblance. The main difference is one that located 1,000 feet above the sea level and the other one 6,000 feet below sea level. That would be 300 meters above sea level, and the other one more than 1,800 meters below sea level. So why would a large airport be located at the bottom of the ocean? Without conducting an underwater study, it is complicated to determine whether the anomaly is natural or artificial. It's also currently impossible to say how old the structure is. Well, experts were asked if they have encountered anything like this before. They suggested that the structures might be simply sonar anomalies where the sea bottom side scan sonar photos when stitched together to create the lines. Yes, you can see stitches do crisscross all over the ocean floor. However, the 45-degree angles and parallel roads connected to this structure look different. It does not appear to be random lines on the seabed. There is more to be seen here than only sonar lines, in Mr. MacIver's opinion. Also, the question, why would a massive airport be located at the bottom of the ocean? Well, perhaps at a much earlier time, that part of the ocean was dry land. It's clear this mystery opens up all kinds of questions to consider. So the world is ready for new discoveries. It's time to expand our knowledge. That's what the Costa Rican journalists agree with him about. Our oceans are full of secrets, and if we take the time to explore underwater realms, we may find incredible structures, yes, new life forms, and discover mysteries we never thought could exist. So let's look at the new life forms, or if not so new, at least very evasive ones. In 2023, scientists had seen an eel with a saggy belly at a depth of 2 kilometers. A rare shape-shifting gulper eel. The peculiarity of this particular ray-finned fish was in the saggy belly. Apparently, the eel has recently had a snack with someone and has not yet had time to digest its victim to the end. The last meal was clearly visible in its stomach. The pelican eel is a deep-sea eel. It is the only known member of the genus Eurypharynx and the family Eurypharynxidae. The pelican eel has been described by many synonyms, yet nobody has been able to demonstrate that more than one species of pelican eel exists. It is also referred to as the gulper eel, pelican gulper, the umbrella-mouthed gulper. It was spotted on June 20th by researchers aboard the research vessel Falcor, operating the remotely operated vehicle Subastion. ROV was the last dive of the Octopus Odyssey expedition, a mission to study the unusually large group of octopuses of the Dorado outcrop off the west coast of Costa Rica. When the vehicle came across a snake-like fish with a noticeable tumor in the middle part of the body at a depth of about 6,900 feet, 2,100 meters under the surface. A short video of the encounter, which was published by the representatives of the Schmidt Ocean Institute, who organized the mission, showed how the eel distorts its deformed body, swimming towards the camera before disappearing into the darkness of the depths. This little-known eel, which has been seen only a few times in the wild, got its name for its ability to unlock its jaw and expand its throat like a pelican. It also has one of the most stretchable mouths in the animal kingdom. Experts believe that this unusual ability probably allows it to consume much more food than its slender body could assume, but so far no one has reported seeing it with a full belly of food. In all our years of exploring the deep ocean together, this was the first gulper eel for all of us, according to the mission scientist Diva Amon. And to see it with surprisingly full belly with a cherry on the cake. This is something that can usually only be seen in textbooks, she told Live Science in an email. Experts are not so sure what was inside the stomach of the gulper eel, but the representative suggested that it could be a squid or a flock of shrimp, and based on the size and shape of the tumor, a squid seems the more likely of the two, but gulper eel are also thought to eat large clumps of algae. According to the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute in Massachusetts, the gulper eel are not particularly skilled hunters or swimmers. Instead, they use bioluminescence to create a red light at the end of their tails that attracts their prey close enough to be swallowed whole. There is also evidence that the gulper eel can use their amazing jaw mechanism to inflate their flexible bodies with water to intimidate potential predators into thinking they are bigger than they really are. That gulper eel is one of the most bizarre-looking creatures in the deep sea. Again, its most notable attribute is the large mouth. This enormous mouth is much larger than the eel's body. The mouth is loosely hinged and can be opened wide enough to swallow an animal much larger than itself. The hapless fish is then deposited into a pouch-like lower jaw, which resembles that of a pelican. So, in fact, this is why they call it the pelican eel sometimes. The gulper eel's stomach can also stretch to accommodate its large meals. This giant mouth gives the eel its other common name of umbrella-mouthed gulper. The gulper eel is much different in appearance than most other eel species. Its pectoral fins are so tiny as to be almost non-existent. Unlike many other deep-sea creatures, it has very small eyes. It is believed that the eyes evolved to detect faint traces of light rather than form images. The gulper eel also has a very long whip-like tail. Now, specimens that have been brought to the surface in fishing nets have been known to have their long tails tied into several knots. The eel uses its long tail for movement. The end of the tail is tipped with a light-producing organ known as the photophore. Though through a process known as bioluminescence, the photophore glows pink and can give off occasional red flashes. Since the eel's body is not built for chasing prey, it is believed that the eel uses this light as a fishing lure to attract fish and other creatures close to its enormous mouth. When the prey is in range, the eel lunges and snaps it up to its gigantic mouth. Now, the gulper eel can vary in length from 3 to 6 feet, about 1 to 2 meters. It is usually black or dark green in color and sometimes has a white line or groove on either side of the dorsal fin. So if you decide to do archaeological or adventure dives, you need to know what you might meet down there, what you might encounter. The west coast of Costa Rica is home to numerous seamounts, underwater mountains that facilitate stunning biodiversity in the deep sea. While some of the seamounts have been explored and a few of these are protected by the Costa Rican government, others remain minimally studied, especially along the northwestern edge of the Pacific margin. A co-chief scientist, Dr. Beth Arcud of the Bigelow Laboratory for Ocean Sciences in the United States, and Dr. Jorge Cortez of the Universidad de Costa Rica, and an international team will investigate the biodiversity of unprotected seamounts in this unexplored region. Their primary target is the Dorado outcrop, where the Octopus garden was first discovered in 2013. On this small outcrop, the size of a soccer field, an estimated 100 female octopuses are brooding their eggs together along low-temperature vents, a phenomenon that scientists had never seen before. The science team's goal is to better understand the hydrogeology, microbiology, ecology, and geochemistry that may facilitate this fascinating behavior, while also characterizing life-supporting services provided by the ecosystems on these seamounts. Half of the expedition's science party participants come from Costa Rica and other Latin American and Caribbean countries to aid in the building capacity for deep sea research in the region. The expedition's science party is also predominantly led by women. Several artists will be joining the team to share stories from the deep sea to raise public awareness of Costa Rica's maritime heritage. Kudos to them. They really do great work. When you hear about invasions, wars, other very sad news we hear every day. We have to look at projects like this because it makes you really feel proud for our science this way and for what mankind could do if we had the opportunities to direct at such research continuously. So, yes, scientists discovered a rare deep-sea octopus nursery 3 kilometers below the sea surface. Wonderful. Now, I want to tell you something else about Costa Rica. The municipality of Garabito announced the first underwater museum in Costa Rica and Central America, located in Playa Blanca, located in the Central Pacific. This initiative is part of the Rocky Reef Conservation Project and the Punta Leon Hotel, which unites art with the conservation of marine life. The museum is located 50 meters from the coast at a depth of 2 meters when the tide is low and 5 meters when it is high. Likewise, it can be visited by divers and snorkeling enthusiasts. The project not only works as a novel diving experience, but also creates a new habitat for life under the sea. The design and direction of the works was in charge of the sculptor Fabio Brenes, a resident of Oratina, who together with the support of students from James Madison University completed the first stage of this museum, which has sculptures of a Casi Garabito, a manta ray, and a Cape's Ridley sea turtle, another worthy undertaking. Yes, it's very interesting about that unusual underwater structure, and of course, all the discoveries made by scientists recently in the Pacific of Costa Rica. And I will bring you more stories like this, so you be aware what's down there, because as you know from my other research, I'm very much interested in the research and strange objects that can be encountered during scientific, military, or civilian research. And stay tuned, I have more to tell you about different parts of the world. So if you like my research, please kindly support me through the links you'll see in the description to this video. Please tell others about my channel. Please like my videos. Thank you very much for your attention to my work.